A man who is a very happy bunny, and he's Adrian Buthune, and Adrian is a primary school teacher, and he took part in this happiness course that we were talking about, the brainchild of the Dalai Lama. Did it work?
Yes, it did. The course is called What Really Matters, and on the course you kind of explore the big questions of life, why we're here, what leads to a meaningful life. You learn the latest science and evidence from the happiness of science, and then each week you commit to carrying out a small act the following week to either boost your own or your own happiness or the people around you's happiness.
I bet you we have all locked into
We
this straight
absolutely
away. I bet you were all listening to that and we're all saying, what's there not to like about that?
Well, it's what I want to know is, how do you teach happiness? It's all subjective, isn't it? Or are there any common factors that actually amount to everyone being happy?
There are really practical things you can do to boost your own levels of happiness and well-being. And I've introduced, off the back of the course, some changes in my own classroom. So I've got a daily meditation practice going in my classroom.
For primary school children?
For primary school children.
How long would that meditation take?
I start with about 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes with quite young children. So I started in year 2 with 6-year-old children. And then you just kind of build it up. You make it fun. You've got to make it enjoyable for kids.
But Adrian, how could you make us meditate around this table for a minute? What would we actually do?
You would ensure that your posture is nice and straight.
Yes,
you embody
postures.
a strong, confident posture. You might take one big, deep breath in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Then you can focus on the sensations where your body is touching the chair or the floor. And then you can just bring your attention to the in-breath and the out-breath. And as thoughts pop into your head, which they will do, you can just let those thoughts go. Just bring your attention back to your breath.
It's
As simple as that.
It's as simple as that. And do you know what I think about this guy? When you think of what the alternative is, the opposite to happiness, sadness and strife and trouble and
It's obvious,
stress
isn't
and
it?
anxiety, and the fact that you're teaching this in school, well, you know, how amazing.
Yeah, and the worrying thing is, the trend is that there are higher levels of anxiety, stress, depression in younger and younger children. So I think it's imperative now that more teachers teach happiness and well-being to their children. They make it a priority, particularly in primary schools.
You know, I was discussing with one of my students, I teach teenagers, and I was discussing with one of my students the other day, and she said something which I thought was so spot on. She said she lived in France for a while, and over in this country, she said, we're tested from the age of 4, and it's all about exams, exams, exams. And she said, in a way, I support that because it challenges us and it gets the results. But they have to understand that that affects our mental health and put a safety net in place. So yes, more teachers like you, absolutely, from an early age.
And how do you make teachers happy? I mean, teachers have to be happy
well, that's
as well.
something
Just take a chill pill, teacher. You know, do I really have to have that homework done by tomorrow morning? Let's just chill.
Yep.
But important as well for adults, even, you know, not just primary school children, but adults now who are stressed with life and anxious about whatever it is, that they also practice mindfulness and this sort of
In my last school, I said that everything that you're teaching the children, you have to embody yourself. You have to be the role models for happiness and well-being.
So are you happier? Are you a happier person because of the course?
I am a happier, less stressed person. I have more meaning in my teaching. And that makes me a happier person, definitely.
You do seem very chilled. It's sort of emanating from you. It's lovely.
And I would imagine it's contagious.
Yeah.
Just
Happiness
as
is
you being
contagious,
happy there, just Hannah's happy, then I become happy. And
Well,
just
you should have
goes
been
on.
on, Adrian, when Eamon was talking about technology about 5 minutes
We
ago.
could have done with you.
That's again an interesting point.
Completely
I bet
true.
you technology is there to stress us, not to make us happier. It's
Although there are some apps you can use. I have a meditation app that I use in the morning that makes me happy and makes me less stressed.
immediately
When it
when I
works.
begin to think of what Adrian's saying here, I think, but I haven't got time
Well,
to
but you
meditate.
have.
But then
You
if I
could
haven't got
make
time to
time.
meditate, I haven't got time to be happy.
But you have time to be angry, you have time to be stressed.
Yes.
So why don't you turn that round the other way?
Exactly.
Very good point. Yeah.
Turn that frown upside down.
I think we should do that.
You know, there's an all-parties parliamentary group on mindfulness now, and one of the things they're looking at is incorporating mindfulness into the school day.
Right, so rather than this be some little quirky thing that we're all sitting here talking, saying this is quite quaint, how do you see the future of happiness in schools?
I think it should be a core part of teacher training that teachers are maybe exposed to mindfulness themselves as part of their teacher training, that child psychology should be taught as part of your teacher training. I've come across all of this evidence and research about happiness and well-being in children, outside of my teacher training. It's from me going on courses myself, reading about it. I think it should be a core part of training teachers and exposing them to this stuff so that they can experiment with some of these ideas just like I have, but not through kind of a happy chance or a happy coincidence, but because it's part of their training themselves. I think teachers should go on maybe the What Really Matters course run by Action for Happiness. I think that'd be a
I
great
think bosses
step.
should go on it, never mind teachers should do that. Adrian, fascinating talking to you, and good luck in your teaching work and in your pursuit of happiness. That's a new course set to challenge people to ask what really matters in life and what actually makes us happy. Excellent. Thank you, guys. We'll leave on that happy note.
Absolutely.
Say goodbye.
You make me happy, Eamon.
No, that's a whole other story.